So in my role at OutSystems, I talk to a lot of customers who are large, established and successful organizations. However, one theme that keeps coming back is that they tend to find it harder and harder to respond to external threats, let's say. Be it there's a newcomer that's very agile, that is challenging their operating model, their business model. Be it things like pandemic, of course, or it can be internal cost pressures, or just market expectations that are changing, that are evolving. Now, more often than not, they are finding it difficult because they are being held back by legacy systems. Because what they see is that yesterday's technology investment is today's technical debt. And they spend 60, 70, 80% of their technology investment just maintaining what they have rather than innovating. So we're here today to talk about modernizing legacy systems with OutSystems and building the business case to justify that investment. So thank you, first of all, for joining us to share your experience of adopting OutSystems for that. So before we dig into the detail of the subject, can you just give us a little bit of an introduction about your role and what you're doing with OutSystems and the impact you're having within your organization?
For me.
You start.
Good afternoon to you all. Thank you, OutSystems, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you guys. I'm a 47-year-old tech enthusiast, that was fortunate to have met OutSystems almost since its inception. I think it was around 2003, around that, I met OutSystems and I did a couple of projects with OutSystems. And throughout my career, our paths have crossed on several occasions. And to be quite honest with all of you guys, it has helped shape my career. Today, I am the CIO of Zurich in Portugal. Zurich Insurance Group is a multinational company present in more than 108 countries around the world. We are around 55,000 people working on the company, so you can see the dimension of the company. My responsibility is to lead the IT in the Portuguese business unit. We have done, actually several projects, using OutSystems, and in this context of modernizing our application landscape, not only modernizing the legacy system. So we started back in 2016, and one thing we decided almost since the beginning. So OutSystems is our preferred development platform for every custom-built application that we have to do. So we are now tackling, different cases in different layers of the application landscape. Usually, when we think of low-code, we tend to think about, these cool front ends, cool mobile applications. But we have not done it like that. We started, for instance, to build a middleware service layer, so where all the applications can connect with one another. We could have gone into the market and buy, for instance, MuleSoft or Oracle Suite, but we decided to build it ourselves. Then we then built several front office applications, for instance, for our distribution partners, for our business partners. I would call them ERP/CRM tools that would help them do their day-to-day job. We built, back office applications for internal consume as well. We have an external API layer that all our business partners can integrate their applications with ours. That, again, is also built using OutSystems. And right now, what we are doing, and by the way, that's an important piece that I'd like to highlight here. We have also, of course, built mobile applications. And if you go now to the iOS store, you will see that, the best-rated mobile application for home insurance in Portugal was built using OutSystems. And that's an important statement to say. What we are doing right now regarding the legacy systems, we started to build a presentation layer on top of our old legacy systems. And we have done that for the module, for the claims management module. And this, for us, is the first step then to transition from this old technology that we have built 20 years ago to the OutSystems technology. First, we go for the presentation layer. Then, in a controlled fashion, we start removing the business logic out of the core system, And lastly, we will then remove the entity data tables. Everything will be on OutSystems. This is some of the things that we are doing with the technology. All of these, products or digital assets started as projects, and they are now products for the company. So we have product development for each of these things that we are doing. And lastly, just to say that what really surprised me the most about the technology itself, throughout my career, is the ability that you have to change things. And you might lay out the best plan that you can imagine. Things will change throughout your journey. And if you put in place an operating model along with the technology like OutSystems, you will be able to do that. At the end of the day, it's like, I think it was a Roman philosopher that says something that the only thing certain in life is that nothing is certain. So I'll end with this.
Thank you. Igor?
Hi, me again. I'm Igor Rigotti from Petrobras. I work at Petrobras for the last 17 years. Last October 3rd, Petrobras completed 70 years. And since our beginning, we are a very innovative company. We are very proud about our operations. We are very recognized for our ultra-deep water production. I'm talking about 30,000 feet underlining this year bottom line. It's very impressive. But we are integrated energy company, so we have upstream, downstream, midstream, logistics, and now we have a specific business area to implement our energy transition strategy. So we are talking about aeolic offshore, green energy, solar, green hydrogen, biofuel, and everything related to reduce our carbon emissions. And at Petrobras, I work at IT team. I'm responsible for delivering applications for corporate areas. And also, I'm responsible for some digital platforms. Some of the monoliths, like Enterprise Service Manager. I'm talking about RPA, and of course, the Center of Excellence of lowcode with OutSystems. And my job is thinking the strategy and implementing and contract delivery partners and helping Petrobras to be prepared to grow for the next 70 years.
Great.
And we will talk more later.
Thank you. Andrew, do you want to give a quick intro?
Hello, everyone. I'm Andrew. I work at Prosegur, a global leader in the security solutions. We have operations in 26 countries, over 160,000 employees, so it's a big company. And for those who don't know us, we provide a wide range of services, going from cash management and logistics to alarms and surveillance systems, managed guarding, and cybersecurity. I've been working, I began working at Prosegur back in Brazil, at Prosegur at Rio de Janeiro. And back then, I designed electronic circuit boards and firmware for a specialized explosion-proof PA and intercom systems for the oil and gas industry. So I'm very happy to share this panel today with Igor from Petrobras, because they are our biggest customer there in Brazil. So thank you, and keep buying from us. Yeah, and nowadays I'm based in Madrid at Prosegur's headquarters, leading our digital transformation journey. And OutSystems was and still is a huge part of this transformation journey. We we went a little bit different from other companies. We went all in with OutSystems at Prosegur, so we decided to transform the security business processes and operations, and to go from a paper-based to 100% digital in less than 2 years. That's what we accomplished with OutSystems. In order to do that, we developed 2 core applications. The first one was a field services solution for our guards and technicians called POPS. It's a Prosegur operations platform for security. And this platform replaced 16 legacy systems that were deployed across 14 different countries. So it was a huge efficiency project for us. And the other solution we built was a customer web portal and app that basically delivers to the customer real-time information gathered from the field services, from POPs.
Okay, thank you. So, Igor, you mentioned this morning some of the ambitious plans you have for OutSystems, but what motivated you to modernize your portfolio in the first place?
Well, we have a really largest application portfolio management program. So we started studying our portfolio. For the last 2 years, we have retired more than 1,000 applications. Another set of applications we have replatformed to end solutions. And finally, we have the live applications that we need to maintain, or we need to deliver new business applications. For these applications, we have studied which one are in the legacy technologies, legacy stacks. I'm talking about Centura, Visual Basic, Delphi, .NET in many versions, Java in many versions. And we started thinking, I need to prepare my IT team to focus on growth and transform. But my run operation is very heavy. It's very difficult to maintain the spread of technologies. Every day, our cybersecurity area call us, hey, are you using jQuery version? I don't know. Oh, are you using Log4j? Hey, have you checked the end of life of support of this Windows 7 version? Have you checked the support of WebLogic, of any piece of your stack? And this is very hard to maintain up to date. It's very hard. And this will consume the effort and your budget to just run the operation. And I need to focus on growth and transform. So I need a new approach. I need to change this game. And the OutSystems support will help us to change this game, because we will invest in modernize the legacy systems applications. But when we finish it, the next version will be almost transparent, because OutSystems is every time applying security patches, every time applying new versions of components, and many times it's very transparent for us. Sometimes we just need to rebuild the application and publish it again. So we really can focus on transform and growth.
Right. What about you, Marco?
So, well, it's pretty simple for us. We have been, Zurich have been in Portugal for more than 100 years. So, as you can imagine, we face the same challenge that any century-old companies face. Like, for instance, have old legacy systems, have silo-based application landscapes, they have limited data accessibility, we have, outdated technologies, we have a know-how in a skill set that is becoming obsolete. So all of those things are there, or were there at the time. And our intention when we started this process was really how can we realign this, it was really a conscious decision to make sure that the IT can deliver the business goals. It was really a strategic move, and it still is because it's still ongoing, so that we can, deliver, first of all, the business agility that the business was required to, and then the experience that all stakeholders were requiring, for us, to deliver. But the most important part, and it is a fundamental part, to drive innovation inside the company. So in order to do that, we have, to move away from this monolithic architecture, close to non-integration whatsoever, to a service-based architecture where we have a seamless flow of data. And because at the end of the day, we want to deliver to the business not only these beautiful applications, this beautiful experience, but we want to make sure that data is available when and where is needed. For instance, for our data analysts, for our data scientists, for ourselves as IP professionals, to make sure we are more productive. For instance, as your center of excellence, you need that data. And that is important as well. For the business as a whole, for any making decision process, it is really important for us. So that was really the main reason why we started this journey, which is still ongoing, and I believe it will progress. It will endure for many years to come.
What about you, Andrew? What are the challenges that Prosegur was facing that made it an imperative to look at modernization and go all in, as you mentioned?
Yeah, of course, there were the 16 systems, legacy systems that were driving me crazy and needed to be changed. But I would say the main challenge we had back then was the lack of alignment between our business and IT teams. Our business teams had high expectations and demands, and our IT teams couldn't keep up with them. So, as you can imagine, there was a lot of frustration and miscommunication, and our strategy was to adopt a low-code platform that could bridge the gap between business and IT and enable them to collaborate more efficiently, basically. So we used, and also we wanted to reduce our dependency on external vendors and consultants, and also we need to reskill and empower our own developers to create applications faster and easier. So that was, I would say, the main challenge we had, a part of our IT landscape back then.
Right. And there's, in IT, when we're looking at modernization, there's the age-old dilemma. Should I buy an off-the-shelf solution, or should I build something? Now, with low code, it's still build, but there's a third alternative, which is to build with low code. So why did you choose OutSystems, Igor?
Well, we have specific strategy for each platform that we have in Petrobras. So we know what we were doing with CRM, with ERP, with enterprise service management, and OutSystems will be a strategic part for custom applications. When I compare with high code in traditional development, maybe you guys remember the cartoon Roadrunner and Coyote. Okay, Coyote is planning how to catch the Roadrunner, run fast, and never catch the Roadrunner. It is exactly what will happen with high code approach, because year after year, we will solve everything about cybersecurity, we will solve everything about end of life. In the next year, okay, I need a new plan, I need a fourth again to maintain over and over again. So the choice for modernization application with OutSystems, now I feel as I am a roadrunner. I can run, focus on my business. It's fantastic, so it's a great decision.
That's a good analogy.
Great to hear. Marco?
Well, I don't think that is a single instance question. That's a recurring question that we have, in IT. So every time a new capability has to be introduced into our application landscape, we have to decide if it's going to be a new application, a new service, and every time we have to do that decision, we have the commitment with the business that we have to choose the best tool to address that. So we have put in place a kind of a simple decision tree with a few questions, to make us navigate throughout that decision. For instance, what is this culture of the team that you are intending to address the need? In terms of what is their dynamics with IT? Are they used to have custom-made things, or are they used to have custom-off-the-shelf products? Because if they are used to have custom-made things, if you bring them a custom-off-the-shelf product, the change management will be tremendous. Another question that that's the part of the culture. For us, is important. Another question that you might, place there is the fact: is this a commodity, or is this something that you strategical for the business that you want to change rapidly? And based on this, you can decide, well, it might be a commodity. For instance, this morning, unfortunately, I wasn't here. I was in another conference, seeing contact center platforms. So I would never think to develop an OutSystems solution for a contact center platform. The old voice platforms now are evolving really fast. There are really good products out there, so why should you build it? So that's the second part. Then you have, for instance, because there's other options out there. You mentioned traditional code by software product, but you also have no code. And when I think about no code, I think about predefined set of data tables, predefined set of user screens to address a specific vertical use case or something like that. So do you need the improved agility, or can you live with that? Because I'm pretty sure with no code you will deliver faster than with OutSystems. The problem will be the speed of change afterwards, probably, or the openness for you to do what you wanted to do. So that's another dimension. Then is speed of change, of course. With the low-code technology, it's incomparable with traditional code. And in our case, we also have what we call a global inventory digital assets that we have to go through, because it might happen and in another business unit around the world, they already built something that, it suits for that specific purpose. But before I go, why I decided OutSystems. And I don't think I'll be okay with myself if I don't talk about generative AI in this conference. I know that you've talked about it in the morning. So we are seeing this movement of some consulting firms, even some tech companies are coming to us, say that we are trying to build end-to-end applications using generative AI to generate traditional code. To be quite honest, we see the potential there, and we are using for snippets of code, but for the entire application, we don't think, the risk for maintaining that and even the compliance and the security, all that stuff. So we don't want to enter that game yet. But this is an important movement that we are feeling and seeing, and of course this will be a challenge also for low code. But to be quite honest, I think OutSystems with the project Morpheus, they are going on the right way. We have to keep an eye on it as well. But generative AI is there to stay, definitely. But then, at the end of the day, if I come back to 2016, when I decided that OutSystems will be our preferred development platform, we did a comparison with the other low-code platform that, if you look at the Gartner report, are the two top leaders, which is Mendix and OutSystems. And I have colleagues around the world in Zurich group that are using Mendix, so that was a good insight for me. And we look into the no lock-in architecture, all that stuff. And one thing that was important, I remember back then, was the fact that at runtime, OutSystems is not there. They don't have any runtime interpreter. That was an important thing to look into. But I remember back then, I read an article, I don't remember who wrote it, that said something or stated something like this. If you want to build a high-performance development team, OutSystems is the way to go. If you rather build a community of citizen developers, probably you should go for Mendix. At that point in time, we wanted to build this superhuman development team. So that's for me was really, that resonated with me. And we wanted to do that. I'm not saying that you cannot build a community of citizen developers without systems. I'm not saying that. I just say that resonated with me, and that made the difference when I had to choose. But of course, you have then to look at total cost of ownership, not from the entry point, but where the end state, because the cost tends to increase high. You have security, compliance, and all that stuff. At the end of the day, we have chose OutSystems. It have worked perfectly for us. And what I told you at the beginning is the fact that you will have to adapt yourselves. Things will change. I remember that one guy asked me one question once, one time back ago, that asked me something like, how do you measure success? And we can have all these KPIs, we have increased sales, we have increased all that stuff. But he then asked me, but how happy is business and how happy is IT? And this is a difficult answer, to provide. I remember what I answered was, how happy is the business? What I see is that once a business realizes the potential of a local technology like OutSystems in terms of what they can deliver, in terms of the experience, in terms of the speed to deliver, you might think that your IT backlog will decrease because now you are much faster on delivering things, but it's actually the opposite. Your IT demand starts to increase, but what is really surprising is when you look at your IT backlog, what you see there is not only the pain points that they have on a daily basis, it's really out-of-the-box ideas, new ideas. And when I look at that, I see, well, that's how I measure success, because if these new ideas are coming, they are not so concerned with day-to-day hurdles, which means we are driving innovation. At least I feel that. For me, that was the best response I could give.
Great, thanks. Now, earlier, we talked, when looking at modernizing legacy systems, we talked earlier with the talent around, well, there are developers that have been there for 10 years in traditional development, 20 years, etc. So sometimes we hear resistance to moving to low code. So have you encountered this, Andrew, and how did you overcome that?
Yeah, we did encounter some resistance, mainly on the developer team. Some of them thought that maybe low code would limit their creativity or performance, and others thought that low code would, replace them, their skills or their roles, But in our case, in only 3 months, all doubts disappeared because just after our first deployment to production, when in 3 months, we did our first deployment to production. So when our team received extremely positive feedback from the business, they knew that this was the way to move forward. So that was very important for us because it showed them that low code was not a threat but an opportunity, and it can enhance their performance and maybe enable them to work on more value-added or innovative tasks. So yeah, at the end of the day, the results were the key factor to overcome the resistance.
Sure. What about you, Igor? Did you see similar things?
Yeah, we have mapped our developers, traditional developers, and we found some influences and give training. I love analogies. It's maybe like the Matrix movie. News starts receiving training, combat training. He wake up and talk to Morpheus. Do you understand Neo Morpheus? And he talked to Morpheus. I know Kung Fu. Morpheus, show me. And this is exactly what happens with our senior developer. He's very specialized in front-end service. He knows everything about Angular, React, and other technologies of front-end service. And we give him training about OutSystems. And when he finished, I asked him, what do you think? And he told me, I can deliver an entire application. Wow, show me. It's fantastic. This can influence every time and start moving our SQL. It's fantastic.
Yeah, fantastic to hear. I used to be a developer a long time ago, and I think I would have loved having to learn this. So just to wrap up, we have about 5 minutes. So with hindsight, what advice would you give to an organization looking at modernizing legacy systems with OutSystems? Andrew, maybe?
For me, OutSystems is not only a local platform, but it's a mindset and a way of working, really. So my advice would be to embrace change and innovation. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo and explore new opportunities or solutions. And on a more practical side, if you trying to go our path, meaning if you're trying to build a core application right off the bat, one of the things that we did, and I think was a key success factor for us, was to hire OutSystems directly for them to audit everything that we were doing, we and our partner. So from time to time, somebody from OutSystems, Paulo or João or Pedro, would visit us and audit everything that we were doing and show us what were our mistakes. So this was great because it was a way of expediting the learning curve on the job. So it made sure that we were moving in the correct direction regarding the evolution of our application, but also was expediting the learning curve and adoption of our own developers. So for us, it worked very, very well.
Igor?
What I'm thinking the future, we'll want to go fast and fast and fast over and over. Because the world are changing, our business are changing, and we need to give to our business the same velocity. And we have the support from OutSystems team. We have the support with Oden 11. We are seeing what will happen with OGC and Morpheus projects. Another analogy. Top Gun 2, Maverick, piloting, they start moving. He needs archive Mach 10. And he starts the airplane take off, and it starts accelerate, Mach 10. The support team, stop, Maverick, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3. But the airplane explodes. With OutSystems, we will be faster and faster and faster over and over again. And I really believe in the support team and every engineering team supporting our business. So thank you, OutSystems, to helping us grow faster and faster with quality and making us enable to give to our business the opportunity to grow with quality.
Thank you. Marco, maybe 1 minute. What's your
So my recommendation is, I don't like to see OutSystems or to name OutSystems as a low-code platform. Really, it's a high-performance development platform. And for me, that's important because, one of my main recommendations is make sure you bring to the team people that know software architecture, software engineer, people that know what happens behind the curtains, because you will need that. You'll put it, maybe not on the beginning, but you'll need that, so that you can really scale fast the platform. So that's my main recommendation.
Great. Well, thank you to our panelists for sharing how they use our system to do legacy modernization. So thank you, Andrew, Igor, and Marco.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.